Once, our estate was the envy of this land.
Well, isn't it still? I mean, don't most people want to live on top of a pit full of eldritch abominations? Hello, everyone. Science Viking here, and we're back to Darkest Dungeon. To start off, let's de-stress some people. Let's cloister Merrier, or Mercier. Okay, that's kind of funny. So the Vestal cannot be cloistered, but the Occultist can. Well, let's drop the Occultist in there. And let's visit the tavern. See what we can get there. Yep, I'll have Marley gamble and Cardinal drink. Alright, that ate through a lot of our money. Well, the downside is stress treatment is still really expensive. The upside is we don't need to do it very often because we're frequently finishing missions with no stress. Okay, I already have a Seeker Antiquarian in addition to a more experienced Antiquarian. Do I have an inexperienced Vestal? Turns out I do not. So... oh, I do, right here. Alright, I think I know what team I'm going to bring with me on the next mission, so let's pop over to the guild and upgrade some skills. Let's see. I want Emery to learn Blackjack, because he's going to be in the center front position. Tralee has all of the necessary skills, but let's put a couple of points into the healing abilities specifically. Tardif does not have... yes, he does have Rampart. I'm going to upgrade Rampart, though. And Seguir, who is coming with us to more properly loot things. Let's see. Fortifying Vapors. I could upgrade it to increase the healing and the blight and bleed resistance. All Invigorating Vapors does is increases dodge. I think I'll upgrade Nervous Stab, because that's what she's going to be doing the most. Whoa. I'm also upgrading Festering Vapors, because, well, the Blight isn't amazing. 2 points per round for 3 rounds, instead of 1 point for 3 rounds. So for 175 gold, I can double its total damage. And... I think I can also afford... nah, yeah, I'll put a point into Fortifying Vapors. Alright, so for Emery, I want to give up Guard Dog for Blackjack. So he has Hound's Harry, Target Whistle, Hound's Rush, and Blackjack. And for Tardif, I want Crush, Rampart, Retribution, and... you know, I want him to learn Defender. 5,000 gold is still enough. And then I'll drop Command for Defender. Alright, and we have our team for the next mission. And if possible, we're exploring the Weald. Let's see. The Fortunate Armlet. It's leper only, but while we don't have a leper at the moment, I think I already collected the our crop of heroes for this week. So, well, we don't have a leper at the moment. This could be very useful when we get one, and busts are a pretty good reward. So, Tardif, Emery, Tralee, and Seguir. Yep, we're doing an Protect the Weak. Yep, we're doing another Antiquarian run, because, well, we need the money. Also, I'm just going to check. What is... oh, the Inchoate Flesh. I'll get to that, but not with this team. I'm not doing a boss fight with any team containing an Antiquarian. Just... it's not worth it. Also, I do think it's kind of funny that the Antiquarian is a better grave robber than the grave robber. So we have the Antiquarian, who specializes in identifying antiques, and her main function is to loot graves. Actually, I think I do want 5 anti-venom because I believe the Weald is where we encounter the mushroom enemies, and they can easily poison them. Right. Torches, that's what I'm forgetting. I almost forgot torches again. Alright, that should be good. We can afford to spend pretty heavily on this mission because we have an Antiquarian, so we're going to make a lot of money on this mission. So I'm selling my way down to 8 torches. We're bringing some holy water. Alright, and embark. Beast and corrupted human alike inhabit these failing groves. Alright. Failing groves, does that mean these were like wine groves for like
Corruption has soaked
wine
the
or
soil,
something before?
sapping all good life from these groves. Let us burn out this evil.
Oh, that was some very helpful scouting. Okay, room battle with treasure, so I'm gonna take the long way around and skip this hallway. And we got a battle very early on. Ah, ectoplasm. They seem pretty manageable. Because now that I say that, I'm probably about to eat my words. What's their bleed resistance? 60%. Is their stun resistance? 50%. I'll risk it. Okay, nervous stab on the one in the back. Dazzling light on the same one. Because the Vestal's gotta do something.
Spirits are lifted, and purpose is made clear.
And crush. I was hoping I would kill the one with more hit points. Instead, I missed. Oh, nervous stab. Finish off the more damage.
Formation is broken. Maintain the offensive.
And yeah, judgment does more damage. I mean, damage from a Vestal is kind of meaningless, but let's see if we can hit with crush this time.
Another abomination cleansed from our lands.
No loot at all? Alright, I've been told that if the Antiquarian is the hero I'm controlling when I open loot, I'm more likely to receive loot. Well, this seems like a bad idea, but shovel? Looks like grave robbery pays off sometimes. We got a minor antique and some heirlooms. And some jade, but jade isn't really a big deal. Okay, yep, there's nothing in this room. Well, I was going to use a torch, but since we have a battle, I can just use dazzling light.
Continue the onslaught. Destroy them all.
And finish it off with nervous stab.
Give them no quarter.
I think the Antiquarian.
At least promises success.
I guess the Antiquarian is really getting into this. I think the Antiquarian has the majority of the kills. I mean, she doesn't have the majority of the damage, but she has the majority of the kills. Alright. Let's use Hound's Rush to try and take out the spitter all the way to the back.
Another one falls.
Yep. Dazzling Light because the Vestal is unlikely to kill anything. Nervous Stab on the one that... Let's do Nervous Stab on this one. Well, it was meaningless because it missed. And I forgot that I had it before, but Rampart. It's possible that he would have killed something if I used Crush, but it could easily have just done 6 damage. So I'd rather stun something, and then I definitely don't have to deal with something at least next turn. Alright?
As the fiend falls, a faint hope blossoms.
And yeah, I know Hound's Rush probably could have killed the spitter, but I didn't want to risk it, especially since since the spitter wasn't stunned last turn, I can stun it this turn. And that was definitely the right move.
Confidence surges as the enemy crumbles.
And that is the end of that. And Citrine is 250, Jade is 375. Yeah, I'm not taking the Citrine. And the gold, actually I probably should have dropped the gold. Alright, skeleton key. Though I've been told that having an antiquarian in the team increases the party's maximum gold carrying capacity. Let's see what happens when we set this on fire. Nothing. Let's see about holy water. Okay, I'm not really sure what else to try. Medicinal herbs? Okay, I'm leaving this. And more heirlooms. Which means we're gonna have to drop something. Well, the jade is the lowest value item. Okay. See if you can kill the spitter. Yep,
Executed with impunity.
And dazzling light. Keep the torch level high. And see if you can finish off the maggot. Yep. Yeah, because I keep giving Siggeir the opportunity, the job of finishing off weakened enemies, she has the most kills. I'm collecting so many minor antiques, I don't need to worry too much about gems right now. Alright. And an empty sack. And and hunger. Well, we have food for that. Okay. Oh, apparently we've already confirmed the skeleton key for this. And that didn't even require us to drop anything because it's all items we already had stacks of. That's nice. Also, we have had some of the best scouting luck I have ever seen so far. And before we proceed, I want to see something. So, the Antiquarian's Trap Disarm is 10% base. Though apparently, despite it technically being 20%, it's actually 60%. Despite it saying 20% there. Let's see about you. 40%, which is actually... Okay, 40% base, and then it's modified by the difficulty of the dungeon we're in, probably. So, in summary, the Antiquarian does not have an increased probability of disarming traps, but the Houndmaster does. Well, I already knew the Houndmaster did, but just the Antiquarian so thoroughly... I forgot.
Ambushed by foul invention.
6 damage. We have enough anti-venom for that. Alright. Mummified remains. Let's try holy water. Nope. Not really much else we could do. Just gonna move on from that one. There I am running my mouth and I forget about the trap. I was literally talking about traps when I forgot about the traps. Okay, so fungal scratchers, but they don't have anything that can inflict mark. Okay. I'm gonna focus on taking out the scratcher in the front first. So, target whistle. It would be nice if I had a second hero who could, but in the meantime, I can use Festering Vapor for this. It would be nice if I had a second hero who could take advantage of Mark, but I don't. Crush, not Rampart. And I should be able to finish him off with Hound's Rush next time. Though I gotta admit, the fungus zombies are pretty scary. And Eldritch Push missed, that's good. Stressful Incantation, however, did not miss. Well, Hound's Rush. Let's see what this does. Enough. It does enough. She's Festering Vapors on the Acolyte again, so now she's taking 4 damage. And Divine Comfort. I forgot to give this Vestal any trinkets, but for a Apprentice difficulty mission, I think that's okay. Though the... Whatever the hero I'm currently controlling, the Man-at-Arms' stress level is getting high.
Slowly, gently. This is how a life is taken.
Let's see. Yeah, Festering Vapors one more time, and that will effectively take out this villain. Alright. Yep, knock him back and stun him. I'm not even going to worry about marking this one, because it would be more efficient to just kill him. And he may have knocked you back, but it doesn't prevent you from using Hound's Rush. I didn't realize the mark did that much! I thought it was just increasing the damage a little bit! Well, lesson learned, I suppose. I should be able to finish him off with Crush, though. Or not. Well, Hound's Rush should do it. If it inflicts bleed. Okay. He's out next turn. And Dazzling Light because I need to keep the enemy from attacking while we all reposition. And Rampart because why not? Well, really, Rampart because it moves him forward one.
Great is the weapon that cuts on its own.
And you know what? This enemy is so close to death, I'm just gonna wail on him. And then reposition after the fight is over. That may have been a mistake.
Eradicated.
Well, I got away with it anyway. Alright.
Trifling victory. But a
Get everybody
victory
back into
nonetheless.
position. Okay, what is this curio? Is this a curio? I'm guessing that I'm wrong in thinking... No, there is a curio. Pristine Fountain. I'm gonna use the holy water we just got on. Yep. So that's what that does. I wish I'd used that for the Man-at-Arms. Well, I know that for the future now. And this is the first time on this mission that the scouting has failed. And it cost us immediately. Alright. Honestly, in the next room, I'm going to make camp because I want to try and reduce the Man-at-Arms' stress level. I don't want him getting afflicted, and I also don't want... It would be nice not to have to pay money to reduce his stress in town.
Uneasy companionship.
Feast. And let's see what we've got for skills. So, weapons practice, tactics, and pep talk, which he can't use on himself. Hound's Watch, which prevents nighttime ambush, so I'm definitely doing that. I'm going to actually start with Hound's Watch so that I don't forget to do that. Resupply? That's neat. So the Antiquarian can produce usable items out of thin air, basically, but only a limited number of times. Curious Incantation, self-only, reduces her stress, or Encourage. I'm going to start with Therapy Dog, which works on everyone. And also... Alright. Alright. Encourage... I can use Encourage and Chant. So I'm using Encourage. We will leave here burdened with riches. You know, Antiquarian, you're not helping my notion that you're basically just a fancy grave robber. Just making me really miss Clarino. I've made myself sad. Well, let's use chant. Yeah, he's not religious, but that's okay. He still has minus 20% stress. Plenty of blood left to shed this day. I've seen nothing I'm not prepared for.
The light, the promise of safety.
It is kind of funny that we have to... Ooh, a secret door. It is kind of funny that we have to manage the torch level despite being outside. Like, could we not just wait until
Nature
the day?
herself, a victim to the spreading corruption. Malformed
Right.
with misintent.
Secret door. And I have a skeleton key. I used the wrong hero to open it. Junia's head was 30% healing and 20% stress. Probably not good, but I could sell it in town. And Dismas's head, which I believe I dropped before. Neither is a great trinket, but I'm going to collect them anyway because I've got the empty inventory space. And onward we march. Next room is nothing. Though the puzzling trapezohedron is going to be pretty helpful. And then a room battle with treasure. Okay. What is... Old tree. Hole in its trunk, perhaps there's something inside. Let's try this. Nope. Let's try antivenom. Antivenom protects against
If
poisons.
only treasure could staunch the
Okay.
flow of otherworldly corruption.
And hunger, but we have plenty of food. We are a little low on torches, but we are near the end of this mission. Honestly, this room could be the last. Okay. Rabid Gnashers. Okay, so numerous, fast, but fragile. Fragile-ish. Hound's Rush. Okay, the Antiquarian... Actually, the Antiquarian doesn't do anything. Alright, Festering Vapors on the one in center rear. Did resist Blight. Dazzling Light on the one in the front. And it missed. Alright, Crush on the one in center front. That's the name of that position. So none of them is dead, but we've at least worn them down.
The slow death. Unforeseen. Unforgiving.
So they can attack any position from any position. That could be a challenge. How much are you bleeding for? It doesn't matter. Bandages are cheap and plentiful in this mission. Alright, Festering Vapors again. Glad I did that when I did. Of course, they all go at the same time because they all have the same speed as each other, so we wait through. Yeah, wait through 3 turns of that. Let's see, Hound's Rush on this one, just so that he's gone. So Dazzling Light on this one, see if we can stun him. We can. Rampart on the other one, see if we can stun him too. Alright! I'd say we've got this under control. Yeah, Hound's Rush won't kill him, but it will almost kill him. Divine Comfort, because we have an extra turn.
In the fevered pitch of battle.
And Crush. And miss! Try to go for an epic finale, and then that happens. Well, the Antiquarian got it. The Antiquarian with the shockingly high kill count.
They can be beaten.
Okay, I can't use the secret compartment because we're out of keys. However, I'm just gonna light the last
The
torch.
match is struck. A blazing star is born.
We're very near the end of this mission, and we have the left luggage, same problem as before.
Glittering gold, trinkets and baubles. Paid for in blood.
Journal page, day 1. Rare are travelers on the roads this autumn, and rather than starve, I pressed my last coin into the hand of one who dealt in rumors and shadows. Ravens carried cryptic notes that there was a person or persons who was pledging coin for services best left unmentioned in a hamlet I had never heard of. I am packing to leave immediately. Big mistake, buddy. You probably should have starved to death. Okay, I'm gonna drop the jade. And as for the bag of marbles, there, I can do that. And I'll leave the journal page. I considered dropping the bandages, but if I drop the bandages, we will definitely encounter the Collector. And I don't feel like fighting the Collector again just yet. Well, this must be it, unless I've failed to understand something. So they gave us a room battle in the room farthest away from our starting position. And we're out of torches, too, so this one's gonna be a little close. See if you can kill the spitter. You won't make any progress like that. Dazzling light on the spitter. It has more ability to inflict damage than the others do. Nervous stab on the spitter. And you should be able to kill one of the others with crush. So, yep. So we're only gonna have to deal with the maggot this time. Grave. Well, it can inflict stuns, so that is actually pretty grave. See if I can kill this thing with Dazzling Light. I can! And raise the torch level. And crush. It was a fight, barely.
Foolish horrors. Brought low and driven into the mud.
Okay. Now would be a good time to remember that I have the dog treats. Alright, I'm going to use the same stacking festering vapors trick on... Well, I'm going to attempt to use it on the one farthest in the back. Alright. Miss for the old gods. Rampart. Does pretty good damage and reliably inflicts stuns. A good ability. And Dog Treat. And Hound's Rush. Let's use it on the Acolyte that I'm not trying to poison. Oh right, since we surprised them, the turn order was all messed up. Festering Vapors again. Okay, this time she's poisoned and has reduced blight resistance. Oh, the turn order's being odd because I'm actually not entirely sure, but it has something to do with when we stun them. You move back one so you can use all of your abilities. It is kind of funny that in the Wield, which has all kinds of unique enemies, the most difficult enemy that we're having, the enemy that's giving me the most trouble is just regular cultists. But we got them. Okay, crush on this Acolyte, just to get her out of the way. This means we have to endure Rend for the Old Gods a bit longer. Dazzling Light on the one that does not have increased stun resistance. We're not going to take enough damage for me to need to heal, probably. Okay, and the Cultist Acolyte will die next turn. And Hound's Rush. Ho 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 ho! I always underestimate how much extra damage Hound's Rush does to mark enemies. Actually, now that I think about it, it makes perfect sense. It doesn't just mark them, it also reduces their proc. So the reason why it seems to do an unreasonably large amount of extra damage is because it's dealing damage it's dealing 40% increased damage, but the enemy has also 40% reduced proc. That's why it does that. Because this, reduces their 20% reduced prot, and it deals 60% extra damage versus marked. So it's the combination of the two that's why it does so much more damage after using target use. Okay.
Success so clearly in view.
Dropping the other dog treats from the
Or is it
citrine.
merely a trick of the light?
And back to the hamlet. This was actually pretty successful.
Driving out corruption is an endless battle, but one that must be fought.
And racking up all of our minor antiques. Is there just no maximum to the number of how high minor antiques can stack? Alright, and we got 4 deeds and 20 crests. And 3 resolve experience. Unfortunately, Segrier is a stress eater now. Though, plus 15% disease resistance. That is quite nice.
Cast out from the civilized world, these men may yet be of use to us.
Okay, so we have 2 lepers. Okay, so one has... Which abilities they already have unlocked is really irrelevant. We have enough gold to easily learn whatever we want. So let's look at quirks. Those are what are really significant. So second win, extra damage of his health is below 50%. An extra scouting chance in the Warrens, but extra stress in the Cove. The other guy has bleed resistance, which isn't really a big deal. He's obsessed with sainthood and has reduced speed and dodge on the first round. Okay, the Cove phobe is a better option. Also, so we just did a quest that rewarded us with a trinket for a
This
leper.
man understands that adversity and existence are one and the same.
We just did a quest that gives us a unique trinket for a leper, and we just got a leper. Alright. So we have an Arbalest and another Antiquarian, and another Man-at-Arms, and we're at full capacity. Alright. So I would need 14 additional, see, I could get experienced recruits. So it would just cause them to be Resolve level 1. I'm on the fence about that simply because Resolve level 0 recruits are actually important because they allow me to perform low difficulty missions. The higher a hero's initial Resolve level is, the fewer novice difficulty missions they can perform before they have to be placed on veteran difficulty missions. And while veteran missions are important, there are a number of novice level bosses we haven't beaten yet, so it might not be a good idea. Let's see. I think I'm actually going to hold off on upgrading this for a little while and wait until the second mission from this episode is complete, because with a second round we might, with a second round of rewards we might get better results. So visit the Nomad Wagon. I can get the Tome of Holy Healing. I already have one of those, I think. Crusader's Orders. That could be very useful, though, I don't know. The Crusader's healing skills, while not bad, are not amazing. The Deteriorating Bracer and the Diseased Herb. I think I'll hold off on that. First thing I need to do is Mercier needs to be de-stressed. Oh, right. Faithless, so he can't do anything in the anywhere in the Abbey. So Tavern, drink your cares away. And Marley is still busy from last week, but I definitely could put together a mid-level team. So this gold is burning a hole in my pocket. So let's look at Sword of All. Let me see. So I could upgrade Crush, Rampart, Defender, and Retribution. Let's look at... I just realized I forgot to do something important, which is I want to actually use the Aura Blessed. I don't want to drop the one extra Antiquarian we have, but we have 2 Resolve level 0 bounty hunters. We do not need both of them, so I'm going to pick one at random and dismiss it to retrieve
The task
the
ahead is
Aura
terrible.
Blessed.
and weakness cannot be tolerated.
Oh, that's a neat quirk. Meditator, improved stress reduction while meditating and camping. But, yep, I'm planning on using an hour of rest. I want to spend at least some time with all of the different heroes, and we have a lot of repetition in our current roster. The reason why I'm leaving these two out is because we already have multiples of that hero type. Okay, so back to the guild. Alright, let's look into Vavasur. Abyssal Artillery does not reduce the torch level. It's only Hands from the Abyss that reduces the torch level. And for what is ultimately a mere stun ability, that's not that impressive. Abyssal Artillery, however, in addition to dealing extra damage to Eldritch, could be very useful for its ability to hit the back line. So let's put some money into that. Let's see. Vulnerability Hex. There's really not a whole lot of reason to upgrade Vulnerability Hex. All that would do is increase its chance of getting a critical hit, which isn't really important because it's not there to deal damage, and increase its accuracy, but since its base accuracy is already 100%, that wouldn't be much of a gain. Weakening Curse, on the other hand, while I use it less, reducing both an enemy's damage and prot could be very effective. Let's look into Cardinal before I proceed. Yep, go from healing 3 to 3 to healing 3 to 4. And Divine Grace from 6 to 7 to 7 to 8. Alright. And let's see. Let's check out Fribois. Let me see if upgrading Collect Bounty would increase its accuracy and its critical chance. It wouldn't increase how much extra damage it deals to marked enemies, but would increase the extra damage to human enemies. Upgrading Mark for Death would increase his speed by more, reduce the enemy's prot by more, that kind of thing. Upgrading Come Hither would just increase the pull chance. Whereas upgrading Caltrops would increase the amount of the bleeding damage as well as increasing the severity of the debuff. So let's upgrade Caltrops. And yeah, I'll upgrade Finish him. Now let's bring Sword of All back out. I think I've decided on which team I'm using for the next mission. And upgrade Rampart and Crush. Let's see. And if I were to upgrade Rampart again, it would increase the knockback and stun probability. I don't want that. When we're up to something like 130% base stun chance, I might actually be able to stun an enemy a second time after they've received the stun resist debuff. Debuff? Stun resistance is not a debuff. The stun resist buff. I'm also going to upgrade Dazzling Light. And let's get Fribois back in here because, you know, the team I'm about to put him on is a very stun-heavy team. And Finish him, when I level it up, does increase the extra damage that it causes to stunned enemies. Do I want another point in Caltrops or not? No, let's visit the blacksmith and upgrade equipment on it. Let's see. Vavasur's armor is the only thing that's not maxed out. Oh, let's look at priorities. Sword of All's armor is not maxed out. Let's change that. Next is Fribois. And that's really all we can afford to do. In fact, I'm not even sure I want to do that. Yeah, let's do that. $6,800 is enough gold to outfit a mission. Alright, and this isn't the end of the video, but I do want to get us a fresh recording file, so I will be back in a moment.
I was lord of this place before the crows and rats made it their domain.
Okay, I didn't realize that I had the option to take both lepers. Let me think for a moment about whether or not I want to. Do I have 2 Crusaders? I have 2. So in addition to my Resolve level 1 Bounty Hunter, I also have a Resolve level 0 Bounty Hunter. Is anybody else redundant? I could have sworn I had 2 Crusaders, but it looks like I only have 1. Oh, I think I will drop my Resolve level 0 Bounty Hunter, because we already have 2 other Bounty Hunters, and bring the other
Suffer
level.
not the lame horse, nor the broken man.
And in case you're wondering, the reason why I'm holding on to Fairfax is so that when Seguir hits Resolve level 3 and can no longer do novice missions, I have an Antiquarian that can, because that's probably going to be a very good source of income. Alright, what we mostly want is deeds. And we want a moderate difficulty mission. So, wait a second. Nobody is in stress treatment right now. You know what, I'm okay with that. So, sort of all, I'll select a medium difficulty mission so that I can place everyone. Sort of all, Fribois, Vavasseur, and Cardinal. What are our options? So we can, yeah, knock down the shrine. Okay, okay. Someone mentioned this in the comments. So, completing this allows us a new town event to happen, called Fresh Air in the Tunnels. And it would also get me 6 deeds. I could take on the Sunken Crew and get the Dark Tambourine, which could be very useful if I had a Jester. I could also take on the Necromancer and get the Hero's Ring, which is plus 25% virtue chance, and while I wouldn't directly get deeds, I'd get a lot of crests and busts, which I could trade for enough deeds, probably. I think I'm going to take on the Necromancer. Again. Let's see how that turns out. Alright. Start with the Vestal. Alright. Tome of Holy Healing and Sacred Scroll. That's correct. Eldritch Killing Incense and the Debuff Amulet. I think I'm actually going to trade the Eldritch Killing Incense for something else. Like the Book of Relaxation. I think I'll go with that, yes. Alright. Basange has the Unmovable Helmet and the Focus Ring. Reduced evasion, but increased accuracy, and more importantly, increased critical hit rate. But in the interest of keeping his survivability, I think I'm giving him the agility talent instead. Let's see. You know, I'm actually going to take the risk and give him the Legendary Bracer, because plus 20% damage alongside his already high damage and his ability to exploit marking, that could be a thing. Alright. Let's see, the Warrior's Bracer for increased damage for melee skills. And the Dodge Stone, so that instead of... Actually, let me see about something else first. Mercier has... Yeah, never mind. I'm just taking Mercier's gear and giving it to the other guy. Because that's better. Heavy boots give him plus 40% move resistance and plus 20% prot. Slight reduction in speed isn't a big deal. And the plus 40% healing received from the recovery charm, that's quite a thing. And yeah, I know we're bringing our Eldritch Specialist to the, let's see, what to drop for Abyssal Artillery? You know, I'm actually going to drop Sacrificial Stab for Abyssal Artillery. May not be the best idea, but I'm going to try it. Because, nah, Sacrificial Stab is still just a good general melee attack. Because the thing is, while he may be our melee specialist, his ability to mark and debuff is still extremely valuable against an enemy like Necromancer. And he has a pull ability. Alright. We want a large amount of food, because we're going to be down there for a while. Several shovels. Plenty of anti-venom, plenty of bandages. I believe there are things that would use medicinal herbs down there, but I'm not certain. And a lot of torches. Let's bring 3 shovels, and let's bring a bit more anti-venom bandages. And I think we are prepared.
I entertained a delegation of experts from overseas, eager to plumb the depths of their knowledge and share with them certain techniques and alchemical processes I had found to yield wondrous and terrifying results. Having learned all I could from my visiting guests, I murdered them as they slept. A devil walks these halls. Only the mad or the desperate go in search of him.
Well, I'm not entirely sure which category we fall into. Okay, so this could be a bit of a challenge because the path forks, so it's pretty much equally likely that he's here or here, so I'm just going to have to guess and hope I guess right. Well, for now, we just need to proceed forward. And hey, we opened up with successful scouting. Who has the best trap disarm in this one? Probably the bounty hunter, but I'm going to check the other two anyway. Indeed. Trap disarm 110%. Well, give 110% to disarming that trap. And loot. Deeds. So if we survive this, we already have the deeds we were looking for, at least most of them. Well, who do I want to use Dazzling Light on? The Marksman is the one most likely to cause meaningful damage, so let's stop him from doing that. And Vulnerability Hex. And Collect Bounty. And he has decided to give up his stealth. That was easy, though it did cause quite a bit of damage to the occultist. I don't think I can finish the Bulwark off with Crush, so I'm going to use Rampart. And yep, I was right to go after the Marksman because Quarrel. Alright, well, Divine Grace on the Occultist. It's nice to have an experienced vest on, get those kinds of healing numbers. Let's see. Apparently that didn't take away the Bone Veteran's stealth. I thought attacking an enemy caused you to lose stealth. Or did he miss? It may be that he missed and that's why he didn't lose stealth. Anyway, I'm going to use Vulnerability Hex on the Marksman. I believe I can hit him with Collect Bounty. Yeah, that must be it. That he missed, and when you miss, you don't lose stealth. I can't, but I can hit him with Finish Him. Instead, I'm hitting the other one with Cultures. I know it won't inflict bleeding, but will debuff. And I'm going to finish this guy off. I was going to finish him off with Crush, now I'm not. Ow. Refuse come hither on this marksman. We have marked the marksman. And let's hit him with Weakening Curse, too.
The ground quakes.
To make very, very sure that he dies this time. And finish off the war.
Confidence surges as
Why couldn't you have done 8 damage last turn? Then we wouldn't have to do an extra hit. Damon's Pull. And now he's standing out there, nice and exposed, and he is both marked and debuffed. Well, collect bounty.
Destroyed.
Honestly, the Bone Veteran gets to die last.
Their formation is broken.
Will be next turn,
Maintain the
apparently.
offensive.
Divine Grace, because only one person is damaged. They're doing a lot of damage, but the Vestal is doing a great job of keeping up. Oh, Vulnerability Hex. Dazzling Light gets us stunning him and gets us more torch. Also, the reduced speed from the Legendary Bracer is actually kind of a good thing, because his reduced speed means he's almost certain to go after the Occultist, which means that we can set up Mark and then execute in one turn.
Success so clearly in view.
Okay, I'm gonna gamble my medicinal
Or
herbs
is it
on this.
merely a trick of the light?
Let's try Holy Water. Nope. Alright, I'm out of ideas. Well, let's move this way. We know that there's nothing in this room, and I'm grateful for that knowledge. You have curried the favor of the gods. I'm really glad that went to Fribois, plus 30% damage until camp. And I forgot about the trap.
Traps lie in wait,
Oops.
unsprung and thirsting for blood.
And we salvage an unburnt torch. Okay, Bone Commander and the 2 Bone Marksman. Well, I know how I'm doing this. Vulnerability Hex. Collect Bounty. I'm not even done with him yet. Divine Grace on yourself. We are going to have to tolerate the repeated quarrels for a little while, though. And it's unlikely that we'll knock him back. We might stun him. That's the goal. I did not. Well, I just said I didn't expect him to knock him back. And I didn't knock him back. What am I saying? My mouth has gotten completely disconnected from my brain. I did knock him back, but I was expecting not to. Now I can't pull him forward. But he pulled himself. Alright? Well, crush. And collect bounty.
Their cursed champion falls.
I know just where you're weakest. And Divine Comfort. Store a nice big pile of hit points to everybody. And while Bayonet Jab is somewhat dangerous, it's nowhere near as dangerous as Quarrel. But without their buddy, they can't get into position to use Quarrel. Actually, I'm going to use Weakening Curse. Since he's stunned, I can use Finish him. And you use Rampart on the other end. I like having stun heavy teams.
Eradicated.
24 damage without a critical. And now, collect bounty.
Seize this momentum. Push on to the task's end.
Let's see what to drop for 6 crests. There's always a gamble to pick up the medicinal herbs. I'm gonna drop them. Room battle with treasure. Also, just gotta bask in the glory of that hit. 52 damage with a critical. Well, I tried to disarm it. Well, I guess even the hero with the highest disarm chance can still fail sometimes. Dazzling light on the bulwark, just to keep him from doing anything. I'm guessing... Actually, no. Looking at his ability set, it looks like he doesn't have a defender type ability. I was worrying that he might. Alright, weakening curse on the Marksman. There is a plan. And now, come hither on the Marksman. Oh, he resisted the movement. Okay, and with Graveyard Slash, I believe he should actually use stealth. Or not. Oh. He has reduced prot, so let's just use Crush.
Annihilated.
This line will not break. Well, let's try Come Hither again. And this time it's a success. And Weakening Curse. And since he can only move himself back one space with Bayonet Jab, he's still going to be in position next turn. Divine Comfort. Just get everybody topped up.
Sedated.
Bounty Hunter is going to need Divine... what's it called? And, while Rampart will not stun the Bulwark, it should displace him. Oh, it did stun him, even with the increased stun resistance. May as well use Vulnerability Hex on the Bulwark now, just to get that lined up. Once again, Bayonet Jab can only move him back once he's not marked anymore. Well, collect bounty on the other one then. I keep forgetting how short of a time Mark sticks around.
The wounds of war can be healed.
This is what happens when I try to use complex strategies, apparently. Well, let's just see if we can finish him off with a Crush.
Continue the onslaught. Destroy them all.
And Vulnerability Hex. He's already under Weakening Curse. So, next turn you should be able to take him. Except that he's out of range now. Not even really sure what to do with that. Let's just use Come Hither. It should mark him again to extend the duration of the mark. Though I still can't actually get him in position. Well, I can do that with Damon's Pull next turn. You will not escape me. And now, since the corpse is gone, he can't get out of range with Black Bounty. Not that it matters, because he has 6 hit points.
Press this advantage.
I actually managed to deplete the majority of his hit points before getting him into range for collect bounty. Yeah, these strategies fall apart around me sometimes.
Be wary. Triumphant pride precipitates a dizzying fall.
Open up a hidden compartment. Okay, I'm definitely dropping something for the Onyx. The question is what? I'll drop a light A torch, drop 2 torches.
A blazing star is born.
Alright. I truly have no idea which path contains the boss. I'm gonna go with this one. I suppose the odds are slightly higher since there are 2 rooms at the end rather than just 1. Right. Day 4. The road to this damned hamlet was a tricky one, both to find and to travel. When it revealed its ruined face, I swore I had never seen such neglect. Some buildings collapsed and uncaring residents fidgeting uselessly. I went swiftly to the tavern, Others with similar interests had gathered there, and I was assembled into an expedition. We leave at first light on the morrow. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to carry that one. I'm being very cagey when it comes to dropping supplies, given how many times this boss has gotten me. Right. Scouting would be irrelevant this time, because we're not where I thought we were. Ooh, Tempting Goblet is back! Haven't seen that one in a while. It's like the return of an old friend who you despise. Alright? I'm kidding. This game has plenty of attacks that are worse than Tempting Goblet. Like Quarrel, for instance. Let's see if we can prevent ourselves from being hit with that. Okay, this will only knock him back one and could stun. It did! Which means he will be ready next turn to be taken out by Collect Bounty. I'm going to use Weakening Curse on the Bone Conscript. The reduced prot should put him into the range where the Man-at-Arms can finish him off. Alright, and Collect Bounty.
As the fiends fall,
one thorn no longer in her side.
Blossoms.
And Damon's Pull on the Bone Noble. And Crush on Conscript. And I may as well use Divine Comfort to get us all nice and fully healed. And let's use Weakening Curse again on the Conscript. Same strategy as last time to make absolutely sure that Crush will kill him. Dazzling Light on the Noble. Didn't expect it to kill him, but he is stunned.
The path is clear. We require only the strength to follow it.
And since the Conscript is down, none of them has a turn anymore. Okay, we're out of room
This
for
expedition
gold.
at least promises success.
Let's see. I'm gonna drop the holy water, and I'll leave the 50 gold. Or 25 gold, I mean. Wow. Let's see, what to drop. Let's drop the Jade, and... we have not encountered anything that can cause blight in this area. I'm going to take the risk and drop the item. Worst case scenario, it'll make things interesting when we start encountering enemies that have blighting abilities. Bookshelf full of old leather-bound books. I'm going to ignore that one. I'm betting that the answer is holy water, which we don't have. Because I dropped it in the last room. Dazzling Light on the Marksman. Since he's the one with most of the firepower. Finish him on the Marksman. Let's see if we can kill him. Almost. And yeah, I'll just finish him off with Crush. And Weakening Curse on the Conscript. Oh no, bump in the night, and it even missed. And you know what? Vulnerability X, why not? Make him very, very vulnerable. And Collect Bounty. And, well, it isn't really necessary to heal. I may as well use Divine Comfort. And, you know, Rampart. And finish him.
Remind yourself that overconfidence is a slow and insidious killer.
Okay, so the emerald is worth 750, and I have 1,250 gold pieces, but the emerald has a higher maximum stack size. On the other hand, do I really need 22 food? I'm going to say that I do not, and take that. Especially since there's a decent chance of finding additional food, if the quest continues for much longer, that is. Okay, no scouting. Let's move up this way. And our first
Even
shovel.
The cold stone seems bent on preventing passage.
Maybe we should take that as a warning. Who am I kidding? I'm 37 weeks into this. There's no way I'm taking anything, any kind of hints anymore. Okay. The downside to not having scouting is any step could be the step into the boss room. That I know is influenced by holy water, and we don't have any. Whoa. That
Ambushed
did quite a lot of
invention.
damage.
Towering,
Yep.
fierce, terrible, nightmare-made material.
Okay. I'm going to use collect bounty on the Necromancer, which is an opening move. I'm also going to light up another torch. Let's see if we can stun the Necromancer.
In
Nope, he
Radiance,
resisted
may
it.
we find victory.
Well, vulnerability hex. Let's see about ramparts. Yep. He's marked, and he's not stunned anymore, but he lost his turn. But he is marked. 30 damage, and he's marked for 2 additional rounds. So let's now hit him with weakening moves. Okay, he has 50% stun resist. Dazzling Light has a 130% base. His total stun resistance is 145%, so I can't stun him. Or rather, I can't stun him with Dazzling Light.
How quickly the tide
Holy
turns.
crap. Ow. Okay, 145. It's only stunning at 130% base, so I, in fact, cannot stun him. I'm gonna go extra careful and use Defend. He's still marked and debuffed, but the Flesh is Willing allows him farther back. Well, let's hit him with Caltrops. Ah, he resisted the debuff. Well, I can hit him with Crush. Right. And Damon's Pull. And now he can't possibly get out of the range of Collect Bounty. Though unfortunately, I think that Mark will end before the Bounty Hunter gets his next turn. Because even if he uses the Flesh is Willing, he moves back 1. He moves back 2. Okay, let's see. What should I use? Because the thing is, if I use... Wait a second. No, if this guy were out of stealth, I could knock if the Bone Veteran were not in stealth, I could have the Man-at-Arms knock him back to push the Necromancer forward. But, as is, I think I'll just use Damon's Pull.
Powerful blow.
And now, he's down to his base stun resistance of 95%, so I have a decent chance of stunning him. So, while I can't use Collect Bounty, I can use Finish Him. For 26 damage without a critical hit. I can only do that once, but I can do it. Of course, next turn, I can mark it. Find comfort. Want to make really sure no one dies. And vulnerability hex. He no longer has reduced prot, but I am okay with that. Collect bounty.
No living sinew to actuate them. Will these walking bones finally fail?
You can consider that payback for the last time, jerk.
Foolish horrors. Brought low and driven into the mud.
So a dodgy sheath and a debuff charm. Plus 8 dodge, plus 1 speed, but minus 10 accuracy for ranged skills, and the debuff charm is plus 20% dodge resistance. Plus 20% dodge resistance. I'm pretty sure I was trying to say it was 20% debuff resistance, but I merged it with the next line. Wow. What would I drop for these, though? I'm actually not going to drop anything. I think I'm going to give up on these two, since everyone has full trinket slots, so I can't press the heroes in the service carrying stuff. But I am going to continue adventuring. There's more that we could potentially find down in these last few hallways, and that more could be valuable. Besides, now that we've completed the mission, we can retreat at any time. So, I'm going to move back to the center, and once I get back to the center, I'm going to rest. Just like with the Swine Prince. So in other words, we came in, we struck down the evil Necromancer who had made an unholy pact with demonic forces, and now we're going to remove everything, to steal everything that isn't nailed down, because that was what we really wanted to do the whole time. Oh, let's light up the firewood.
Huddled together, furtive and vulnerable.
Let's do normal rations.
Rats in a maze.
The Vestal. Well, the Vestal use Sanctuary, and then Pray. And then I'll have the Vestal. The Vestal cannot chant on herself. So I'll have the Man-at-Arms encourage the Vestal. And I may as well use Wound Care on the Bounty Hunter. And that'll do it. Hunting here seems futile. All meat is surely tainted.
The promise of safety.
Alright. This seems like a bad idea, but let's see what happens when the occultist does that. That's what happens, and I... of course. I dropped the anti-venom, and we find a way to encounter blight. It's going to turn out that going down this way was completely pointless, wasn't it? Let's see what a key does for the display case. Treasures stashed. Wow! We got all. That was quite a haul. Light a torch, drop a torch, take 500 gold,
spirits are lifted,
give up the jade.
Purpose is made clear.
Wow, well, we found another interaction. And a slavering ghoul. This is going to be a challenge. Well, start with some dazzling light. He's in range of collect bounty. So, vulnerability hex. No, I'm gonna focus on the gladiator first.
Executed.
Because if the gladiator is gone, he can't cause damage. Alright, the gladiator is out. And Rampart. His stun resistance isn't even that high. He just has really good luck, I suppose. Oh, vulnerability hex again. So the ability that reduces the enemy's evasion missed because the enemy has high evasion. I guess you have to solve the problem in order to solve the problem. Well, let's keep trying to stun him. And crush. I'd be willing to say we've got this handled. Well, vulnerability X again. Did 1 damage with a critical. Or more importantly, let's see, his stun resistance is actually low enough that I have a 10% chance of this working. And a 10% chance of this working. Neither did, but collect bounty will. I did kind of underestimate his prot, though. Oh, yay, horror. We haven't had horror in a while. Oh, crush.
Monster's size has no intrinsic merit, unless inordinate exsanguination be considered a virtue.
Day 8. Moira has been afflicted with sickness. It must have been some rotting air from a coffin she insisted on piercing with her spade. As terrible as this place is, I know I will not fall for any trap nor a crazed idiot. I wager my lucky coin on it. High risk move, but I'm dropping the bandages and the shovel to take this. We are so close to the end that I think we can get away with it. And like I said, every time I do this, the odds of encountering the... We have no tools. The odds of encountering the collector increase every time I do that. But I do that, so... Alright. 1 hallway battle and 1 curio. I'm gonna go find out what the curio is. And I'm not even risking the hallway battle. It probably won't have anything valuable enough to be worth fighting for. So, let's get out of here. We've managed to avoid the collector again. I guess I scared him off after how quickly I killed him last time. 7520 for gold, plus another 6,750. And the hero's ring. That's going to be very nice for some of the higher stress missions. Not sure exactly who I'll give that to, but I'm sure I'll find a use for it. In addition to quite a few trinkets as quest rewards, and quite a few trinkets, quite a few heirlooms as quest rewards, and quite a few more that we just found. And we have our first Resolve level 5 hero, Cardinal, which means we now are down a Vestal for mid-difficulty missions. And Sordaval has a disease that reduces his disease resistance. Should probably get that looked at. And Frebois has increased stress if his health is low. Honestly, that's okay. His health is not low very often.
Can you feel it? The walls between the sane world and that unplumbed dimension of delirium are tenuously thin here.
I know I can feel something. Alright. Oh, right. I want to go to the sanitarium and treat Sordaval's illness. Not even that expensive. And I said I'd upgrade the stagecoach, and I'm upgrading the stagecoach. I'm gonna upgrade the barracks. Let's give up some busts for some deeds. I need 5 deeds. I can get 6. And upgrade the hero barracks. It'll be a while. The next thing that's getting upgraded is the stagecoach network, but the increased barrack size gives me the opportunity to get a jester and a hellion, 2 hero classes we haven't used before. I know I shied away from using them before.
You will be laughing still at the end.
I know I shied away from using these 2 before, but I do actually want to try out all of the hero classes now that I'm starting to kind of get the hang of this. Also, while I'm getting experienced recruits, like I said, I don't really want to get experienced recruits just yet because we still have some novice difficulty bosses to take on. And so I want to have a bit more time to get to level up heroes on novice difficulty missions. Though I don't know, I might be completely crazy for thinking that.
Barbaric rage and unrelenting savagery make for a powerful ally.
Ooh. we actually have one of every hero class. Of course, I also have quite a few crests left. I could upgrade the merchant network to reduce the trinket cost. I could also upgrade the survivalist bonfire to reduce the cost of training camping skills, but the cost is already quite low, so it's really not worth doing. Let's see about the blacksmith, because so we just barely have enough crests to upgrade weaponsmithing if we had enough deeds, which we don't. Tentatively, which means I'll rethink this when I start the next episode, I'm going to wait on upgrading anything else until we have more, upgrading any other structures until we have more heirlooms. But either way, this is going to be the end for this part after we finally had our revenge against the Necromancer. And I seem to be getting the hang of dealing with these veteran difficulty missions. I may actually have to try a champion difficulty mission soon. Of course, now that I've said that, next episode something terrible is probably going to happen. Anyway, thank you all for watching. Remember, I love you all, and I will see you next time.